Okay, another new setting. Today is Thursday, October 1st, 2020. It's 3:14 in the afternoon. I'm sitting in a parking lot after I got discharged from Princess Margaret Hospital just about, I don't know, like an hour and a half ago. So it's been kind of a whirlwind this week for me. So I'll just kind of keep it short for this one. I mean, I think there's a lot to talk about, but like the main thing is, I went in like as I'm sure you saw or I talked about in the last video. So it would have been 2 days ago. I would have made a video yesterday, except um, no, I was an inpatient. The room I was sharing with a roommate, she was really struggling and she was pretty much immobile. So she was in the room pretty much the entire time except for the couple of hours where she was gone for the procedure. And I, at that point, had made that video that the last video that you saw. I guess I could have gone to another area of the hospital and things. There wasn't a lot of areas that were very private there, so there wasn't really an opportunity for me to really record without either being disturbed or like people seeing what I was doing, I guess. And I don't know, like talking about this kind of thing where other people could potentially hear or kind of overhear what's going on just didn't appeal to me that much. So I just left it until today. So I've been pretty consistent in getting up around 4 in the morning, even in the hospital. But I've been getting like some pretty decent sleep. I've been going to bed like pretty early. But my roommate, I think I mentioned, like she was really struggling, and this was a very eye-opening or an experience that was hard for me to go through because she is clearly toward the latter end of her journey when it comes to being sick and having cancer. I'm on the very beginning, and so I'm relatively healthy. I don't have pain. I now have a bunch of tubes that are hanging out of me that I'm gonna have I think for the rest of my life now. So I mean that is the in my present and in real time experience right now, the biggest thing that I am feeling that I can feel when it comes to the fact that I'm someone with cancer are like these things that I have now sticking out of my body that's going to help either administer medicine, chemotherapy, or that's draining bile out of my organs. So, but those things are uncomfortable, but I'm not writhing in pain, and I'm either talking in my sleep about not wanting to go on anymore, or where like she was even on the phone talking to her friend and just talking about how excruciatingly painful it is for her and stuff. So, 2 nights and 3 days of hearing her struggle, and I don't blame her or anything in the least. Like she's clearly very struggling and in pain and angry and all those kinds of things. And it was really difficult to me going through my own experience, having to witness or be a part of her her situation, her stuff. So that was really tough. And one of the reasons why, like, I was really, I mean, gunning to get out of there. Like, one, I just wanted to go home. I didn't want to be in a hospital with, very kind of clinical, and I didn't, clinical setting, and everybody there, the people who, the nurses and the oncologists and everybody that I came across there, just truly great people, like just wonderful people. So I'm grateful for the care that I got, but it's still a hospital, and I was stuck in a room that didn't have any access really to daylight because the curtains on my roommate's side was pretty much drawn the entire time. So I walked around and stuff like that, but for the most part, I was stuck in this room because of COVID. There's no patient lounges and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of weird restrictions, and with Toronto's numbers going up, I mean, who knows, what's going to happen in the next little while in hospitals. I feel like I was very lucky that my husband Joe was able to come see me every night, and I was so grateful that he was able to, because it would have otherwise just been it would have been really, really hard. It was challenging, and but that said, it was challenging. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was not ideal circumstances. It was very unexpected, and but I know that I have people around me who support me and love me so deeply and truly. And so I have this love. I have all these people who care and love me, and I don't know that my roommate does, and that really saddens me. That was another part that was hard, but I know that my journey is going to be different as a result of that. What I will say for now is that I had my 2 procedures done. They were supposed to be done on Tuesday, or the idea, they were trying to fit me in on Tuesday, but it sounds like they were very, very busy, and everything seems to be sort of like in and out and everything else, but so it wasn't possible for me to get the procedure on Tuesday, but I was able to get the procedure done on Wednesday, and the best case scenario was that I would get the procedure done yesterday, which would have been Wednesday, and I would be well enough to go home, be discharged today, which I am. So I am grateful and happy that happened. Another time I'm going to talk to, I'll share with you the experience of having the procedure, because that was weird. That's story time, I think. Because that was a really fucked up and messed up kind of an experience. It was very strange, but they got the job done. So I'm still kind of complaining. It was a weird situation, but on top of that, it was uncomfortable and painful as well. But I mean, it's done. It did its job, so I am grateful for that. It might be better if I actually tell somebody the story instead of me just talking to you, but we'll see how that goes.
One eternity later.
It is now 7:55. I'm finally back at home. I'm glad to be home. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry that I didn't finish my last video. Stopped it because I got a message that came through, and I didn't get an opportunity to finish it because I was sitting and waiting for Joe to pick something up at the mall, and I'm very careful right now to sort of avoid any situations that could potentially compromise my immune system more than it currently is. So I was sitting in the parking lot, thought that I would take an opportunity to shoot sort of an update video because I hadn't done it in a couple days and didn't get an opportunity to finish it, but here I am back at home. Now it's 7:55. It's been an exhausting few days. I'm so glad I'm back at home, but a lot's changed. A lot's changing. I came home with these different things inside me now. I have this port. I have this biliary draining bag, which will probably both be a part of me for the rest of my life. And that, I mean, not what I was expecting, but that's sort of what it is. And I mean, there are worse things, right? A bit rambly, I think, because I'm tired, but having some really hard conversations with people right now. I've had a psychotherapy private practice for the last 11 or so years. I've worked with, and until recently even work with some, I mean, just I can't be grateful enough for the just being able to have had the opportunity to work with the folks that I've worked with, and to start having these conversations about not being able to continue. The reason why I decided to get into this work was because I wanted, at the end of it all, to know that I had done something meaningful in the world. I hope that maybe I made a difference, a small difference, a little difference, a ripple, whatever, the last 11 years or so. And with the folks that I'm currently working with or have been working with, to let them know that I'm closing my practice. These are tough conversations. Yeah. So, and those conversations are beginning now, and they're hard. They're really hard. But all that to say, it's just one of so many different pieces right now that are sort of like in my head and my heart and within me to do. And I feel like in my mind, in the next few weeks, as I have all the conversations I need to have, that things will settle down for me. It won't feel so like there's so much to do. That maybe, then that part of me is like scared by that. And another part of me is like, what would it be like to just focus on my goal now of taking meaningful time with the people that I love, and to do maybe some things that I love, even in this shitty time of COVID. But in the meantime, there's still quite a bit to do. And I guess the other part of it is that while I am draining my bile ducts through this procedure I had yesterday into this biliary duct bag, I don't even know. Anyway, so like this bag that collects my bile, and until my bilirubin numbers come down, I can't start treatment. So on one hand, and I think I might have mentioned this before, on one hand, I feel like, I have this time before treatment, but delaying treatment means that I could potentially get sicker from the cancer perspective. And so when I was talking to the oncology doctor today, she was saying you might notice that you're not able to eat, or you're vomiting and you feel nausea, or you've had fever, and if any of those things happen, you have to go straight to the emergency room. So that's a scary kind of a feeling that my body might just shut down before I'm able to even start treatment in 2 weeks' time, which is what it looks like it will be. But fingers crossed that get through it, and my bilirubin numbers will come down, and I can start treatment, and the treatment will make an impact. That's the hope. And I'll get into it, I think, in a later video. But this is a tough one. This is, of the cancers, it's in the top 3. So in terms of being treatment resistant, but of course, with me being as advanced as I am, this isn't about cure. It's about trying to prolong with quality. So we'll see how it goes. But I guess for the time being, next, I gotta make sure to take care of myself specifically better in the next while, or just to keep an eye on myself or whatever, especially around digestion and things like that. So anyway, very rambly. I'm so sorry. I think I probably shouldn't have turned the camera on myself, but I feel like just because I haven't in the last couple of days, I just wanted to jump on and say some things. So I'm doing this because I want to share my journey, just one person's journey, and some insights as I'm journeying. And you just make sure to let someone know that you love them and that you embrace for the lack of, of a less, I don't know what I want to say, just that love is important. It's singularly important. So please send some love my way if you can, just for this journey that I'm on, and I send you love back. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.